Hi. I have a lot of books to unhaul. As you can see by that clip, I'm currently stuck behind a wall of books to unhaul. Let's get into the books and the reasons why I'm unhauling. My Oxfam's gonna love me. No, a couple of these books are going to my friend Ada, who I've mentioned quite a few times. I will link her down below. A couple I'm hoping will be going to some of my colleagues. I have messaged them, but it's New Year's Eve, so they probably won't get back to me. And the rest are off to charity shops. Because there is quite a lot, and I know this is quite small compared to some people, I'm not going to go into the description of the book. If I can remember why I'm unhauling it, I'll tell you. If not, it'll just be a generic, I didn't like it, or I haven't even read it. So, stop waffling, Michelle, and get into it. These are in no order, but it is going to be very quick, like I said, because there is quite a few books. And I'm actually meant to be leaving the house in an hour and a half, and I haven't packed yet, and I'm staying overnight somewhere, and go for procrastination, Shelley. The first one I'm unhauling is Iron Widow by Zairan J. Zhao. This is for no reason other than I have 2 copies. I got the Illumicrate one. This is the one that I pre-ordered from Waterstones. Nothing special, so don't need to keep it. Next one is Every Value Break by Peter Swanson. I read this, I rated it 2 stars. I did not like it at all, so off it goes. The next one, some people are not going to like, but it is The Jasmine Throne by Tasha Suri. I got about 130 pages into it. I just didn't, I didn't want to carry it on. There was nothing wrong, the writing was good. I understood where the story was coming from. I just wasn't interested in reading it, and if I'm not interested in reading it, why would I read it? Next book is The Lamplighters by Emma Stonex. I got about 30 to 40% of the way through this book. The way it was laid out, it wasn't for me. It was like 6 POVs. The writing style was just not gelling. I actually do want to learn more about the story this book was inspired by, and this was making me not want to look into that story. So for me, it was a obvious DNF. Another one that may be a bit controversial, The Thursday Murder Club by Richard Osmond. Oh my gosh, this was so slow. I think I got to page 150, something like that. It was chapter 45. The chapters were too small for me, and it was going a bit slow, and I just wasn't interested. So, another one to go. Same goes for the next one that again will be a bit controversial. She Who Became a Sun by Shelley Parker Chan. I enjoyed the first part. I enjoyed RMC. Got to the second part and I was not enjoying it. I did not like these new characters, so I wasn't forcing myself to finish it. The next book is The Bullet Train by Katara Isaka. I give this 3 stars. It was okay. I just didn't understand one of the characters and how they got away with so many things. And I know it's really popular in Japan and it is being turned into a movie. Just not my type of mystery thriller. Well, thriller, I should say. The next book is A Dark and Hollow Star. I gave up at 60-page mark for this. I just did not like the characters. So if I don't like the characters, I'm not going to force myself to read it. The next book is The Nature of Witches by Rachel Griffin. I did not like our main character. I did not like the love interest. I only like the magic, so I gave it 2 stars. The next book is Circus of Wonders by Elizabeth Mcneil. I think I give this a weak 3 stars. I think it was the last, if I remember correctly, it was the last 150 pages where I was just like, you've let me down big time there. The next book is The Glass Hotel by Emily St. John Mandel. I give this 2 stars. I enjoyed the main premise of this book, the bit about the Ponzi scheme. Yeah, the Ponzi scheme, I enjoyed that. Every other part of the story I did not enjoy. The next book is The Hidden Girls by Rebecca Whitney. I enjoyed this book. It's just not one of my favourite thrillers. Well, not favourite, it's just, I finished it. I haven't thought about it until I started looking at my shelves and thinking, what do I want to unhaul? And I didn't feel like, oh my god, if I let go of this, I'm going to be devastated. So, off it goes to Oxfam. The next book is Afterland by Laura Bukes. Again, I quite like this book. I think I give it 3.5 stars. It's just not one that I want to keep. The next book is The Nesting by CJ Cook. I think I give this 3 stars. And for me, it was the paranormal aspect did not makes sense. Not in the sense of it doesn't. I know paranormals don't make sense, if that makes it sounds really odd when I say that. I just didn't think it really fit in that greatly with the story. The next book is Shadow in the Glass by J.J.A. Harwood. I gave it 3 stars. It was an okay book. It's just not one that I want to keep. The next 2 are part of a duology, so they are War Maidens and Grave Maidens by Kelly Kuhn. I just thought the writing was a bit, well, not the writing, the story was a bit weak, and there was only one character I think in the end I actually liked. The first one, it was okay. The second one just wasn't let down. And again, another 2 from the same series that I'm getting rid of. Dangerous Remedy and Monstrous Design by Kat Dunn. I like historical fantasy. I just didn't get this, and especially when it came to the magic part, I was like, what the hell is this? The main relationship, I should say, I found toxic. So it wasn't a series that I really want to continue. The next one I'm getting rid of is Exciting Times by Nice Dolan. I'm going to read you why I did only give this 1.5 stars. Casual racism. Comparing a 6-year-old to a 23-year-old. Plot holes the size of canyons and made no sense. Main character is insufferable, and the only character I did like wasn't written about enough for my liking. So that is my hardbacks done. Now onto my paperbacks. The first two paperbacks are From Blood and Ash and A Kingdom of Flesh and Fire by Jennifer L. Armentrout. For this one, I got 50% of the way through. I wasn't enjoying it, so there's no point trying to push through for a sequel for a book I didn't like. The next one is Blood and Air by Emil Wen Zhao. It was meant to be Anastasia retelling. I didn't get Anastasia. I gave it 3 stars. It wasn't a series I wanted to continue. The next one is This House in Cerulean Sea by T.J. Clune. I'm only getting rid of this because I got the Illumicrate version. These are little sticky notes from Ada because Ada gifted this to me. I am going to transfer these onto the hardback. The next one is The Chain by Adrian Mckinty. I read this last year. If I remember vaguely, there were parts of it that I didn't enjoy, and here, that's another thing. I couldn't remember anything about it, so why should I keep it? The next one is Burn Our Bodies Down by Rory Powell. I didn't enjoy part of this story, so I'm not going to keep it. The next one is Spinning Silver by Naomi Novik. It was an okay book, just not enough for me to keep it. The next one is Of Mice and Men by John Steinbeck. Again, it was an okay book. Do I want to reread it? No. Do I want to keep it? No. The next book is Chain of Gold by Cassandra Clare. I loved The Shadowhunt as well, so I thought I would enjoy this. I got halfway through. I didn't enjoy the characters. I didn't enjoy the storyline. And unfortunately, I think this means I am stepping away from the Shadowhunter world. The next one is When No One Is Watching by Elisa Cole. I think when I put my thoughts down, it was just the ending where I was like, really? And parts of the story where I was like, no, I wouldn't do that. But you know what? I know loads of people enjoy this, and it just shows that I don't always enjoy the hyped books. And yeah, I need to actually start thinking properly, would I enjoy this when I buy things? The next book is How to Disappear by Jillian Mcallister. I just did not enjoy this. I think I give it 2.5 stars. The next book is The Last Girl by Goldie Medolsky. I think, again, there were just parts of the story that I didn't like, so it has to go, I'm afraid. I'm really sorry about these not being in much detail, just for this year, when it came to writing down in my reading journal, I didn't write down all my thoughts like I should have done. And a lot of these books, I can't remember why I didn't enjoy them. I just know if I gave them a low star and I said in my reading journal, I didn't enjoy this part, I didn't enjoy it. The next book is The Call by Pier Ogun. I enjoyed this book. I actually did. I think I gave it 4 stars. Not enough to carry on to the sequel and not enough to keep it. It was just, I'll be honest, I read it, so I had a certain number of books for my March month last year, but I knew I wasn't going to keep it. It really sounds really bad, but there's another one on here that I got from March where I'm like, I knew I wasn't keeping that. I just bought it for the month. The next book is Ghostlights by Joseph O'Connor. Again, like The Call, I just bought it for the month and I don't want to keep. The next one is Last One to Die by Cynthia Murphy. I felt I was missold on this book, and I only gave it 2 stars, and I didn't like the paranormal element, and I didn't actually like the non-paranormal element, if that made sense, so I'm not going to keep. The next one is The Hunting Party by Lucy Foley. Again, I didn't enjoy it. I love the guest list. I really didn't like this one, so I'm not going to keep, but I am keeping the guest list. The next one is Dreamwalker by J.D. Oswald. I only got this for a buzzword prompt last year. It was okay. Not a series I'm going to carry on with, and not one I want to keep. The next one is The Dubliners by James Joyce. Again, one I only bought for March. I enjoyed half the stories, the other half were just a bit meh. The next book is A Good Man by Annie Katz. I just did not enjoy this. The story sounded good. I just felt reading it wasn't what I wanted to read based off of the synopsis. The next one is Snap by Belinda Bauer. I thought I would love this, and it turned out that I didn't, and if I remember correctly, I think it was near the end where I realised this wasn't the story I wanted it to be. The next book is 7 Lies by Elizabeth K. Oh, I hated this main character. I hated this main character, and I hated half the story. And the next one is Mina and the Undead by Amy Mccoy. Again, an okay book, just not one I want to keep. The next 3 books are Queenie by Candice Carter-Williams, The Stranger by Simon Conway, and The Last Widow by Karen Slaughter. All 3 I DNF'd. This one I DNF'd because it was part of a series and I didn't realise, and I felt like because I missed like 8 books I wasn't going to get any more into it. And these 2, I felt the main character did something partway through where I was like, I cannot condone this, so I stopped reading. And last but not certainly least is Saga Volume 1. You may think, Michelle, you love Saga. I do. I just got 2 copies, so a little bit like Iron Widow and The Last House in Cerulean Sea, I just need to unhaul the extra copy. So there are all the books I am unhauling. Is there any there where you think, Michelle, you've just, like, especially my DNS, Michelle, you need to give it another chance? If there is, seriously, let me know. If you did like this video, please leave a like. If you have any comments about any of these books, please do write them down below, even if it's just, please give it another chance or more details necessary. But until next time, bye.